Amir and I have a podcast called Skinny Fries, and a few people have asked, what does it look like from the other side as you're putting this together? Because we have an active podcast and we have a video feed that we use both for YouTube and to make shorts out of, whether they end up on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reels. There are two different elements to the same podcast. So this is our setup and the way that we both record the podcast. We use two different cameras. I'm here shooting on a Sony ZV-E1. And Amir is shooting on an A7 IV. But both of us are shooting in a decently wide lens. This is the 20 millimeter 1.8, and I think Amir's on a 14 millimeter 2.8, and we're shooting just in S-Cinetone. You know, we found that shooting in log and grading it for the podcast just didn't make a lot of sense by the time it goes through the compression of YouTube. Both of us record on the same Rode pod mic, which I often touch and Amir gets super grumpy at. And we use two different recording mechanisms in. We started both with Rode's Podcaster setup, which Amir still uses, and I've switched to the Streamer X, which is a 4K capture device that also does audio in, which I'm recording on right now. The reason for that is it allows me to also stream with this setup, and I can position my computer here, and instead of using my built-in camera when him and I are talking, I can actually use this camera, which gives me a little bit of a better visibility to what he's seeing when we're gonna output that video. From a lighting perspective, I have this Godox that you see. It's the Heat of 1,000 Suns. I edit here on my desktop computer. And what you're seeing right now is me shooting into the camera using a different Sony. This is the R5. This is my photography camera, which I sometimes use for video, and the G Master 1.4 35 millimeter. In this case, I'm using it because I didn't have another way to show you this. So this is our podcast setup and what we do every Tuesday night when we record. This is the tool that we use.